What's up? alexy1 playing Roman Yankovsky, which is incidentally his real name. Um, it's maybe time to play a Sicilian again. Let's see. I tried this once last time and I failed pretty hard. But yeah, see what happens. His rating is 2511 if you can't read it on the screen. But yeah, we do have some time. And look at this. We play this line. So let's see, which line should we go against this? I play this with white, so I do know something about it. And I had played this against our last opponent. And if you've seen that game, I play knight d2 instead of taking on d5. And I do believe this is somewhat fine for us, but I don't really remember. I do understand it somewhat. I think we castle here. And now we take on c3. Knight takes is I think the best move, and then I don't really want to take on c3, although his pawns are messed up. Then his bishop on his dark squared bishop should be very good. I think knight c6 might be fine. If he takes here, it's fine. I think he'll rather take on c6. Okay, so now our bishop isn't doing anything. It's probably better to put it on e7. It is interesting where we're gonna develop our bishop from c8. Maybe we're gonna go e5. We don't really have the option of going b5 because of this bishop on g2. It's interesting to see what his plan is, though. Okay. We could play knight b4 here, actually. Just put our knight on d5. Yeah, I kinda like that idea. Yeah. Just trying to put our knight on d5 where it's central, and then we can maybe even go b5 ourselves. Or maybe that's too optimistic, I don't know. Yeah. Time to put our knight here. So if we have to move here, we're gonna go b5. I sorta should have seen that coming. So if we don't do anything, if we go b5, bishop takes e7, wins a piece. My plan was to take and then play b6, but that seems to fail because of multiple pins. The knight just moves, and then c4 is somewhat unavoidable, I guess. Is it though? Take b6, knight b3, bishop b7, bishop b7, then c4, yeah? But b5? Yeah. Oh. Okay, so if b5, then knight b6, yeah. Okay, but what about this? So rook b8, c4, and then b5 is the plan. Yeah, I think that works. Well, that costs some time, but those lines are hard to calculate. So many options. So c4 doesn't seem to work because of b5. Takes on d5, takes on a4, takes on e6, takes on bishop takes e6. And if he takes on b5, I'm just gonna take back with the pawn. I can safely pre-move that, I think. Yeah, I think I can. Although if he takes on d5 with the bishop, we should take with the pawn. Interesting move. I do need to take. So bishop takes f7 is the threat. Maybe bishop e6 here is the only move, maybe even. Or king f8. No, king f8 leaves the bishop hanging at the end, so bishop e6. This rook ending we get if he takes is somewhat worse, I guess, because of our somewhat weaker pawns, but on the other hand, we do have a clear target on b2, and also we've managed to save our back rank. I think rook d2 might be enough for a draw. Rook d4 is also a move, but that's way too passive, I think. Rook a4 probably. Yeah, we're gonna go passive now anyways. We need to activate our king here. Probably need to activate it to e6. And if he goes rook a5, we have a check. So that's why he played a3 actually, just to threaten rook a5. Maybe this move. Because if he has to go back to a4, then we have rook c5, and we're okay. And otherwise we can put our own rook on a4 maybe. Yeah, we're gonna lose a pawn here, but we're gonna gain one on a3 and then on h3, so I don't know where the king's best on f3, because then it might jump back to g2. Yeah. If we take on h3, then rook g5 probably. So I think it's best to take a draw here. So if we took here, then rook g5, and this should still be a draw, but it's white's to lose, since he has two connected pawns, whereas I have two pawns which are very, very far away. It should still be well within the draw margin, but anyways, pretty interesting game. So at least we didn't lose in like 15 moves or something. And we played a Najdorf, and yeah, like I said during the game, I played this h3 line myself with white, so. And because in the last game I played with white, the last two games actually I played this line, so it's a lot of the same, but yeah, now it's from the other side. And yeah, this is definitely a move here. And I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. Probably just follow the last game and play knight c6. But whatever. He went for it, takes, and then knight d2, which is the main move. Bishop e4. Castle. Should be fine. Yeah, and I had a funny feeling a3 was a move somewhere. It's a standard move actually. This move isn't precise. Maybe queen h4 is a move. Trying to just maybe even play e5 and open up his king. e5, h5. Dinja likes queen c7 though, which is a pretty natural move as well, since this allows knight c6 not to double our own pawns, and also allows a rook to go to d8, and even allows bishop d7, c6, and also attacks c3, so only plus points. It's probably the best move. And this knight e4 is probably not the best, so he should probably take on d8. and then bishop e3. Just that's the main trump of white here. These two bishops are pretty annoying, and also this square is somewhat weak, so you can even try and get a knight there. So this would have definitely been better. For instance, bishop d7, maybe even knight a4. I mean, we're a bit passive, and white has a lot of trumps. So yeah, keep playing this h3 line with white. I think I will. Knight e4 though, not the best. f5. I hadn't really even looked at this option. Felt something like knight c5. The obvious trap. So knight c3. Just rook d1. Yeah, but now our pieces are central, and we're not as passive anymore. These won't really hang because we can always defend them with king f7. Yeah, instead I went knight b4. So I first need to address this bishop. That's why f5 is a good move, because it makes room for the bishop on e6. Because now there are some issues, it seems. I didn't think this would be plus 0.8. If c4 I was planning just to take on e3. But yeah, bishop c5. Look at the evaluation go. Bishop c5. Bishop h4. Well, I did glance at this move, but then I was trying to make bishop takes c5 work, which is, I guess, the only alternative. It's worth pointing out that this doesn't work because c4, knight somewhere, and then this wins since this bishop is pinned. So takes, b6. And I thought knight b3, but he went for knight a4. Which helped us in another way, since we had rook b8 then. But knight b3 I was planning on going b5. And I thought I'd be okay here. Just put our bishop on b7 and we're fine, but he can jump back. King f8. Yeah, and although this is equal material, we're relatively much more passive than our opponent. Yeah, we should probably go something like rook a7, rook c7, or. But yeah, we do have white has some advantages, whereas we don't really have anything to go on. So this is a clearly better ending for white. Instead he went knight a4 though. Then we can go rook b8, trying to get b5 in, and also bishop b7, or even bishop d7 now. He went for c4, but then b5. The engine likes this. I thought this would just outright win, but it doesn't. Oh yeah, you can obviously just take on b5 now. I just missed that. Yeah, okay. Instead he played this move, which is actually pretty fun. I need to take on c4. And now I think bishop e6 is also the only move. But it's more than fine. Yeah, rook d4 was still better. I always aim to go for the more active move, but so I went rook d2, but rook d4 just simply holds because we can just keep our rook on d4, we can go king f8, king f7, and then e5, and put our king on e6. This rook is pretty active though, so yeah. Now white does have some chances here, since his rook is better placed than mine. e5, and it's still a draw since we have this nice rook c4 check in the air. The engine agrees, and now he agrees with a draw. If he goes back to g2, I was actually planning on going h5 somewhere, maybe even here. I don't really know if it works, but so if the idea is if you take, we have rook h4. Yeah, this ending I'm willing to go in. Oh, I shouldn't actually. Is that so bad? This should be an easy draw. Not if we go there, but yeah, this should be an easy draw, I think. Well, it is somewhat better just to go rook f4 here. But this ending with 2 against 1, but the pawns aren't connected, is somewhat easy to draw, I think. Ah, and that's the idea. I didn't see that idea. So that's why you can go to f3. I was wondering that during the game, but I was... Yeah, okay, this is an obvious idea. Seeing as the pawn ending should be... Well, we should never lose that. With the outside passed pawn. But it's a draw because you can go to e3, and if rook f7, this pawn ending is a draw, I think. We're analyzing nonsense here, but yeah, this. I'm just gonna follow the computer evaluation here. Oops, well, okay. And it's a draw, just barely, since the king is, yeah, close enough. If this king were to go to g2 instead of g3, black would win here, but yeah. This is a draw, because you can just shield the king off for the somewhat lesser, lower ratings while watching this. You can just wait it out and just keep on what word am I searching for? Just keep on playing king f1, king f2, and because if the king goes to g3, we can just go king g1, king h1, and the king in the corner is always a draw. And if he tries to push his pawn, he's still made it after king f1. So that's pretty essential to know, actually. The main point is if the king can jump to h1, it's always a draw. And also if he can go to f2, it should be a draw. There might be some positions where that isn't the case, but I doubt it, actually. Can't really think of any exemption. Yeah, well, whatever. A draw with the Sicilian, which is pretty sweet. Never played this, so thought I'd give you guys a different opening. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.